Hi Samuel. So on the left, the morning video, the before on the right, the afternoon video, after stroke work, clearly, I think that without commenting, you can clearly see the difference, that's obvious. So it's a matter of time before reintegrating it into the full swim with inhalation. That's for sure, that's obvious. But frankly, once you've mastered the trick like that, it's bound to get really interesting afterwards in the full swim. So the first point is going to be about taking your time, looking at what you're doing, as we did on the course, and getting that elbow high and that hand vertical. But as you've succeeded, boom here, because this is clearly a banger, I'd say you've managed to do just that. In my opinion, this will quickly be reflected in your swimming by alternating the exercises we did on the course with the sessions I'm going to send you, and of course by alternating swimming with feeling, with pace, with normal swimming pace, and that's how you'll build up little by little. Come on, I'll go back to the morning video. So just after the warm-up, you can see that your arm, it falls during the inhale. So anyway, you don't have propulsion in front of the shoulder line, that you don't have catch. But you can't move forward at your current pace without pushing backwards, accelerating slightly, and a minimum of technique. But you can see that the arm has fallen, you can see the bubbles, and you're bound to lose propulsion, because everything you don't take in front of you, in front of the shoulder line, this has exponential repercussions. Or I don't know if it's exponential, but if you gain a few centimeters in front in stroke surfaces, you're bound to gain several dozen centimeters behind over the whole stroke. Because if you have more propulsive surfaces over a longer distance, means that mechanically you have much more propulsive capacity after to go further on each stroke. So next, let's talk about the great things about your freestyle at projectile level, which is that you're lined up from head to toe. In any case, you've got more than the minimum to pass on this catch work, and above all, you pass under the surface too. And your heels, as we can see here on this heel, are on the surface. So you're super horizontal, super low on the brakes, a very good streamline, and the fact that you're built like that, really balanced in the water by being placed in the water, has enabled you, in my opinion, to work on this serenely and easily. And that's why you managed a great catch with a good roll, because that's step number one. A good roll and good balance, a good horizontality. In fact, clearly you don't need to press down, you don't need to drop your arm to press down on the water simply because you know that you're lying in the water, that you're well placed and that you float easily. Now you're at ease, you can think on your stroke, and that's really the advantage you have in getting the catch. You've succeeded. And so, even if you manage to control your arm when you're not breathing in, you can see it clearly, but when you're breathing in, it falls off, and you've really got things to do, you see. I'm going to come back to this a little. There, you breathe in. Look, there's the arm going into the water, the head. It's barely put back in the water, and we'll see it even better here. There, you breathe in. Look at your arm where it is. Here the hand has gone into the water, you finished breathing in, you're getting back into the water, the arm has fallen, okay? You're already trying to propel yourself. There's quite a bit of air. Air is not the water we're moving, and what we want to move is water to move forward. It sounds silly when you say it like that, but if you're moving air and bubbles, it's clearly useless. And so, we're going to try to keep the arm a little further forward as a projectile during your inhalation. We'll try to inhale more quickly, perhaps exhaling a little less air, a little less volume, and exhale perhaps a little more strongly, a little more intensely before inhalation to call up air and inhale more rapidly. So one thing at a time, there are quite a few points I'm going to give you on inhalation, but you have to go gradually. And the fact of keeping your arm in front of you, well, you have to look on the bright side, which is that once you've managed to feel more water, to feel the catch. Obviously, the fact that your arm stays a little more in front of you means that you can work on your catch and therefore recreate a little more speed just after the inhalation. Because when you breathe every 2 or 3 strokes, if an arm falls off every time and you miss a large part of the underwater work, you're bound to lose a lot of potential speed. Come on, I'll go back to the side view. Take a look so you can see another perspective too. Look, there you are. You've got your hand there. We're pretty much on the same timing here. So you can still see the air bubbles. So you know how to resubmerge yourself, how to realign yourself. So we're going to try to do it faster by first breathing in faster, then exhaling the right volume. And speaking of exhaling, third point, I'll go back to the stroke because the idea will be to find a better acceleration of the underwater path, to gradually accelerate the water to find even more fluidity and for it to accelerate easily. Right, hence the idea of taking time on the catch, at least initially, to succeed in timing this part, and for the arms to remain longer here in front of the shoulder line and less time here behind the shoulder line. Because everything in that part in the back of the body mechanically also contributes to either expending more energy by kicking your feet more to maintain horizontality or having your legs fall, even if you're doing well in terms of placement and immersion. But you might as well have a freestyle that's more and more rhythmic, a freestyle that's more and more right, as Raymond CATTEAU, my mentor, would say, to succeed in finding more and more pleasure and more glide. So we'll make the link between exhaling, just the right volume, and accelerating the underwater arm. And the last point is, we'll also try to keep this good catch, this elbow higher the hand on all the rest of the propulsive stroke to move water as efficiently as possible. So there you go. I'm sending you everything you need, Samuel. On that note, I'll show you this video again so that you can get a feel for it, because the idea is to always start from what you feel best and what you've experienced, so that after, you can continue and make effective progress. Good progress to you. Speaking of that, I put in the description the magic palm exercise in my free sensory week. An exercise already tested by tens of thousands of people in the French-speaking community. An exercise that will help you gain amplitude, engage the arm more easily in front, and thus prepare for the catch work that will come next.